Hello, young ladies and young gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about the second YouTube lecture for the JavaScript DRAW tool, which is a very easy way to draw web pages with the JavaScript DRAW tool in a way that's intuitive and visual. Okay, young ladies and young gentlemen, even with today's innovative CSS frameworks and JavaScript tools, the work of drafting up web page layouts and inserting content, items, and features, even today, is technical, eye-glazing, tedious work. Even today, you still have to be a competent and patient CSS programmer. You have to modify and maintain countless files of verbose, difficult to read CSS code. And ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget, CSS is a very complicated technical standard. And don't even get me started about JavaScript. That's got an even tougher learning curve. Now the JavaScript DRAW tool is different. Now I call it JavaScript DRAW tool not because you have to know JavaScript to use it as an end user, but because the internal implementation is done using JavaScript. But you can use this DRAW tool not knowing any JavaScript or CSS. With the DRAW tool, drafting up and filling out web pages becomes easy, it's intuitive, it's visual. So how does the DRAW tool work? So easy. Using the JavaScript DRAW tool is visual and easy. You have a web page. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a web page, and the intuitive way to think about it is you divide the web page into boxes. And each box can be further subdivided into boxes within that box. And you can divide a box either horizontally or vertically. Now I take this box and I'm going to subdivide vertically. So I already divided this box into two boxes. I'm going to subdivide this box vertically here and here and here and here. Okay? Now I'm going to focus for the moment on this box here. And you'll see why in just a second. Because the other aspect of the DRAW tool, and I will also note before I move on to the other aspect, is with each box you set the width and the minimum height. Now with each box, you pick a box. I'm picking this box here. With each box, you create or edit. You create or modify content inside the box that you're focused on with an auxiliary panel, an assistant panel, what I choose to call the alligator. Okay? And that's an edit panel for creating or modifying content. It's an edit panel that appears right under the box that you are editing. So, if this is the box that I'm interested in, then the alligator area is going to show up here. Again, if this is the box for which I am creating or modifying content, then the edit tool for doing that is going to show up right underneath the box over here. So you have the box that you're trying to create or modify content, and you have the helper assistant area for which you're going to do it that shows up underneath. The ease of use, the flexibility, the creative power of this alligator area will become better and better as the internal product development becomes more advanced. So you're going to have text, you're going to have images, you're going to have a combination of text and images, You're going to have text that has heterogeneous font, which is typically the case with many web pages. Headers have larger letter size than the rest of the text, italicized font, etc. And so you'll have more and more features that will interact properly, that will become more and more available as the development of the alligator panel implementation becomes more sophisticated. As a result, the draw tool will become more and more easy to use, powerful, flexible, and multi-featured. Ladies and gentlemen, this will fundamentally change front-end web page development for the better. Ladies and gentlemen, this will make people's lives easier, both for learning the tool and for using the tool on a day-to-day 9-to-5 basis for getting work done. This will make people's lives better. And while I call it the JavaScript DRAW tool, because the software development will be implemented in JavaScript, note that using this for day-to-day work, you don't need CSS, and you certainly do not need JavaScript. Now, that is the main portion of this talk, but there are a couple of details that I want to point out in addition as to the context of the JavaScript DRAW tool. Unlike this school is going to have a variety of product designs, prototypes, and some prototypes that are advanced enough so that they're ready to use products. Some of which are general purpose and some of which are more niche, specialized in corners of the economy you're less familiar with. Unlike other product designs associated with the school that I've worked on earlier, this JavaScript DRAW tool is conceptualized to be tied to the School of Applied Computer Science. You have two stages: the development of the product, which involves JavaScript code, the development of the internal implementation, and then when that's ready, learning to actually use it to get 9-to-5 work done, to get regular work done. I've conceptualized this so that both of these two processes is a learning experience that the students in the school can be involved in. Obviously, there are COVID-19 complications, but I still believe that can be in part possible. Now, the school involves multiple product designs. There are other product designs that are more niche and more specialized and also more late stage. That is, they are ready to use now. The draw tool will have a much larger, more prominent purpose in a larger and more visible part of the labor market, as I think is clear. Front-end web page development is a very visible and large part of the American job labor market. Now, the JavaScript DRAW tool involves a software development process that is not as late stage as with a couple of other products that are associated with the school. That's because it is newer, and that's because the development process will involve students in the School of Applied Computer Science. And I believe and hope that this School of Applied Computer Science can be in the state of New Hampshire. That's basically a business and political process that I can't really discuss here. But this school will be somewhere, probably in New Hampshire. And it will start even in today's COVID-19 environment with the use of Zoom and the phone and YouTube and what have you. And then the process will become all engines on fire once a vaccine is found. Thank you. This talk is now concluded.